My question would be on the mandatory spending, and I'd like everybody to know the implications of this. And I'm just wondering if the president and the administration and you are fully aware, because I heard you mention a while ago that whether it's mandatory or discretionary, it doesn't matter to you. You just want the money. But as members of Congress, I would like for you to be fully aware of the consequences for tapping into mandatory spending. The budget requests include funding derived from mandatory spending, such as, and this will be, let me just tell you, Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, they're subject to the pay-go rule, which means that any new entitlement program must be accompanied by a corresponding cut to an existing entitlement or an increase in taxes. In other words, we've got to pay for this. In order to pay for NASA's entitlement spending, the President's budget request calls for skyrocketing tax increases across the board, as well as cuts to Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. And other proposed cuts include reduction to student loans, their program, unemployment insurance, and veterans benefits. It would also create new fees for farmers, hunters, air travelers, increase military health care co-payments, and federal employee health care and retirement costs. It would increase the cost of our postal service, mail, reduce U.S. Postal Services. These proposals would increase the cost of every American's electricity bill, as well as the price they pay at the pump. Just a few months ago, Congress fully funded NASA at $19.28 billion without any budget gimmicks, tax increases, or entitlement cuts. And now the President is requesting a $1 billion cut to NASA and discretionary spending, and asking for pie-in-the-sky tax increases, cuts to mandatory benefits, and increased entitlements with this mandatory side. Why should Americans agree to this budget request when NASA would receive more money under a CR, continuing resolution, without any of the pain that this budget request would cause? And I would invite you to please look at the President's budget right here and take a look at Table S9, page 129 of the President's budget. We will have 9 pages of tax increases and billions of dollars in cuts to programs that are already there, or increases in taxes. So why should Americans agree to this budget request without, when we have more money under the proposed CR, and not have any of the pain that this budget request would cause?
Mr. Chairman, I'm not a budgeteer.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, I just wanted you to know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because we have to look at this.
Sure.
When it says mandatory spending, there are implications, there are consequences to this, and the consequences. You're a veteran.
Yes, sir.
That's just one little aspect of some of the consequences that it would hit veterans.
Mr. Chairman, I would, if I may, I would say sure. One thing, and that was when we started the budget process. We started several $1 billion below where we are because we were told that sequester is still a possibility, and it still is a possibility. It is not off the table, and that's something that I think the budgeteers, at least, when I talk to my guys, they always remind me, we do have this thing called sequester. So in defense of the budgeteers, I think they're trying to work with the Congress and find a way to get that. It's a limit, but it can be solved somehow. Right. I don't know how to do that.
Okay.